It's the ultimate culinary showdown.
Come on!
20 up-for-it celebrities
Too much sauce.
with their eye on one prize.
I feel like I'm putting my stamp on it.
The Celebrity Masterchef title. Each week,
Oh no.
5 new celebs face off against each other
This is an absolute nightmare.
in a quest for culinary stardom.
Bon appetit.
You have done a great job here.
We have celebrities from across the world of entertainment.
It's time, Mr. Wallace, to find out what these guys are all about.
It's week 2 of the Celebrity Masterchef competition. Taking on the challenge of the Masterchef kitchen are pop star and lead singer of The Wanted, Max George,
I'm here to learn, I guess, as much as anything, but to meet John and Greg, like, I mean, the legends, so, yeah, I'm well excited to be here.
Radio 1 Extra DJ and music presenter Remy Bergs,
I'd say 90% of the time, I cook breakfast. After breakfast, forget about it.
children's TV legend Dave Benson Phillips,
My biggest strength in the kitchen today will be my shirt! Yes! Powerful shirt!
award-winning comedian Shazia Mirza,
I don't know what John and Greg will make of me. They probably think they've seen it all, but they ain't.
and Terry Christian, radio host and presenter of the cult 90s late-night TV show The Word.
I'm all about flavour. I'm in a war against blandness. Failure is not an option.
Tonight, they'll face 2 challenges designed to test their mettle in the kitchen.
I'm baffled, mate.
And at the end, one will be sent home.
Let's find the cook behind the celebrity. Who is going to light up the MasterChef kitchen like they've lit up the stage or screen?
Oh my God, I'm thinner than I thought. This is great.
Hello and welcome to the Celebrity MasterChef kitchen. Of course, we know who you are. What we don't know is how well you cook. There might be a real proper culinary superstar in here in front of us. We have no idea.
This, your first task in the MasterChef kitchen, we call under the cloche. Under these cloches, there are 5 different ingredients. And we're going to ask you to come up individually and choose your own cloche.
Oh,
I hope it's not a vegetable.
Terry, come up and choose your cloche.
My pleasure. What I want to gain from MasterChef is an education, and I want to grind all the other contestants' faces into the dirt, basically, and win it.
And you know where you're going?
That one.
OK.
What's he got?
What's he got? What's he got?
I've got mussels.
Brilliant. Have you cooked with mussels before?
I've cooked mussels, but yeah.
Boom. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
I think many people are relieved that you got them, by the sounds of it. Remy, up you come.
I want to be able to change the narrative in my life. I want to be able to be a contributor to family dinners and, you know, not just provide the soft drinks. Well, the mussels are gone, so that's good.
Which one are you going to go for?
So this one here.
OK, go on then.
Okay. Right.
Do you know what that is, Remy?
It's a fish. What type of fish? I couldn't tell you. Is that a salmon?
It's a mackerel.
Mackerel. Oh, thank you for the mackerel.
Well done, Remy.
Thank you. Great. Mackerel, everyone.
OK.
Help.
Shazia.
Look, nobody has died from anything that I've ever cooked, but I have burnt down 2 kitchens. I'll go for this one. Oh,
What is that?
chicken.
OK, interesting. Have you cooked a chicken before?
No, but I've got a few in my backyard.
Have you ever cooked a duck?
God, is it duck? It's a duck. It's a duck. Can we swap? No?
Max, up you come.
This is alien to me anyway, so any challenge they throw, I just, you know, just got to have a go at it, you know what I mean? Oh, no.
What is it?
What is that?
You a fan of a vegetable, Max?
Never seen one of them in my life.
Tricky.
Do you want to borrow some mackerel?
Do you want some pumpkin?
I was going to say, guys, I'm really happy with these eggs. I'm so happy with these eggs.
Just get up here, Dave.
If the truth be told, I'm absolutely nervous. There's no two ways about it. Chocolate. That is brilliant.
Is that brilliant?
Well, it's chocolate. You could just eat it like this. Chocolate.
We want you to create a dish whereby your ingredient is the star. It can't be a bit part. It can't be the backing singer. Okay. It's got to be the star of the show. Along with your own ingredient, you could use whatever you like from this wonderful larder behind us. You have 1 hour, ladies and gentlemen. Let's cook.
Oh, what am I doing? Oh, I know. Butter.
Keep it spontaneous and not bland.
I'm baffled, mate.
This first round is about holding their nerve. They may not know the ingredient and may not actually have a recipe for the ingredient, but if they think carefully, they'll be able to get through this.
What I don't want to see them do is start cooking, start preparing, without having an idea of what the dish is going to end up as.
Mackerel. What would my mum do? And if I let you down, Mum, I'm sorry.
I'm going to use my knowledge of cooking chicken and I'm going to apply that to this.
I literally said to John and Greg, as long as it's not a vegetable. That's what I got. I'm just going to have to wing this one, I think. God, it's well tough. Oh, that'll do. Easy. I know what I'm doing now.
Singer Max George was a pro footballer before joining Brit Award-winning boy band The Wanted. They had 10 top 10 singles and topped the UK charts twice.
Family and friends don't know anything about my cooking because I've never cooked for them. So this is a first. I have cooked once for my girlfriend and she said it was pretty good.
Max, you look terrified with that squash. Have you got a plan now?
I think, yeah, I have got a little bit of a plan. It's sort of just chuck it in and see what happens, but I'm gonna just cook this with the potatoes, soften it up, add a load of garlic, butter, some cream, make a soup out of it.
How much cooking do you do?
When I got asked about this show, I kind of put that I cook 4 times a week because I wanted to do the show. But I don't cook at all.
That's brilliant. Anybody you know giving you any advice on this?
Not really. I asked Ryan Thomas, I told him that I was doing it, and he sent me a minute-long voice note of him laughing. That's all he sent, and nothing else.
Right now, I think Max has got a plan. And he's realised what he's got there is something he's eaten before, and he's going to make a soup with it. Max has also decided to do some croutons, which is brilliant. But what's going to be really important here is the way he finishes it. Is he going to finish it with a little bit of cream? Is he going to make sure it's seasoned really well? Is he going to blend it so it's nice and smooth? I hope so.
Broadcaster Terry Christian made his name hosting The Word during the height of the Manchester music scene and regularly cooks for his 2 adult sons.
I'm kind of used to pressure, you know, doing the word. It was like walking on a razor blade every week. You know, it's live TV. You know, I'm doing stand-up comedy now. Sometimes you say something, it falls flat. But you know it's not you, it's them. It's obvious. How could it be me?
Terry, really good to meet you.
Yeah, fantastic. Great to be here. Celebrity Masterchef.
Are you happy to be here?
Well, yeah, because I've been cooking since I was 13. You know, so, I mean, not great. You know, as my lads always say, you know, watch your presentation and get a shift on. That's what they said to me.
So you've been cooking for a young age. How did that start?
Well, I'm the fourth of 6 kids, so, you know, it's like, you know, big Irish family. So it'd be left to me to cook for the younger ones.
So how often do you cook now?
Probably every day of the week, really. I mean, it's nothing fancy, it's just, you know, and the presentation is like a bit slap it on a plate and get it out.
But if you cook every day, you must be a decent cook, Terry.
Well, I'm all right. It tastes OK. But, you know, can I get a shift on? And will my presentation improve?
Mussels you're going to simply steam with some white wine and some shallots, lots and lots of garlic, and a little bit of cream. Well, that's great. My concern for Terry right now is all the other ingredients he's got on his bench going with the mussels. I'm not quite sure what he's trying to do with sweet potatoes, mushrooms, and asparagus.
I might shove a bit of that on. It might just be there for decoration yet to make it look like I'm busy. You know, like when you used to freak kids out in the exams by going up for more paper. I used to do that, you know, just to psychologically psych them out. But why is he going up? I'm still on page 3.
I've got to be honest, I've never ever sat down and did an exam.
Dave Benson Phillips began his career as a holiday camp entertainer before becoming a much-loved children's TV presenter.
In the kitchen, you have good days and you have bad days. I'm just hoping I will have more good days than bad days. Really, that is all I can hope for. I'm not selling it very well, am I? OK, everybody, this can be a bit noisy. Oh, my thumb!
Watching you on the telly, you've always seemed a happy soul. You seem a happy soul here, are you?
I am, but to be honest with you, I'm absolutely, totally and utterly terrified, sir.
How much cooking do you do?
I do a lot more cooking now than I used to do. The cooking that I used to do was often reserved for children's television and preschool TV. So in those days, I would do lots of things that would end up in the fridge.
What are you making? Are you making a cheesecake?
Yeah, I'm making a cheesecake as best as I can. I'm going to cover it and sprinkle it with the chocolate. So it's going to star. It might look like a cop-out, but, you know.
David, cheesecake is never a cop-out. I'm offended. A cheesecake is a wonderful thing.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure yours will be great.
A cheesecake is usually made with cream cheese or mascarpone, but Dave is using whipped cream and condensed milk. He's taken some biscuits and crushed them up with some butter underneath. However, is chocolate really going to be the star of the show here? That's my question.
I normally do a lot of main courses, meat courses, so the idea of using chocolate as the chief ingredient is quite scary.
30 minutes gone, people. 30 minutes left.
How cold is this?
We have a cheesecake without any cheese. We have mussels in white wine served with sweet potatoes. Can it get any better? Yes, it can do. Because we've got somebody who can fillet a fish without using a knife. To have taken the bones out of the fish by pulling it apart and opening it up?
Yes, that's the strategy I've gone for.
South London DJ Remy Bergs grew up loving her mum's Nigerian cooking. She's rapidly making her mark as a prominent music tastemaker.
Nothing is off the plate for me. I have had roasted worms before. I feel like once you go down that route, nothing's off limits, really.
You took the fillets off with your bare hands?
With my bare hands, yes.
Brilliant.
There's no time. There's no time.
I can't actually believe it's worked. Remy, who cooks for you the most?
My mum.
All right. Have you told your mum you're coming on here?
I have. And she was very worried. And she called me every day up until yesterday night.
Has she offered you any advice?
She's offered me as much as she possibly could. And I hope I make her proud.
Ah.
Remy looked really frightened of the mackerel. I've got to admire her endeavour. We've got 2 identical fillets there, which are now in a pan, cooking away nicely with a bit of butter. She found some couscous. She's got some new potatoes she's frying in the deep fryer. Mackerel and chips? OK, we'll see how it goes. Mackerel and couscous sounds delicious. I just hope she gets herself a plan, because there's not much time left.
Guys, you have 15 minutes left. 15 minutes, please.
Birmingham-born and bred Shazia Mirza started out as a science teacher before becoming one of the UK's leading stand-up comedians.
So this is the first time I'm ever cooking a duck. I've been vegetarian for 14 years, but growing up in my house, they ate meat every day. There was lamb or chicken every day. And so I don't mind still cooking meat for other people.
She's pan-fried the duck separately, so that's rendered all the fat. She's made a base with some curry flavourings. She's got lots of spices and onions and various things.
I'm going to add some of this hoisin sauce, which I saw at the Chinese takeaway the last time I was there.
If you've made a spiced curry,
Yeah.
Why add the hoisin sauce?
To make it authentic.
Hoisin sauce is really sweet and very, very salty. If she puts hoisin sauce in there as well, it's just going to become a muddle.
What is it that you want to achieve here with us?
I want to improve my skills. I want to improve my repertoire.
Of recipes or gags?
Gags, mainly.
I just hope that we've got something to go with that curry. Maybe some bread or maybe some rice, because otherwise we've just got a bowl of curry.
Listen, everybody, there are 5 minutes left.
It's all right, you know.
I forgot that you actually have to serve the duck with something. So I've had to make chapatis.
How do you get these out?
I don't even if it all goes together, really, but, you know.
Last touches, people, last touches.
Forget the couscous. The couscous is staying over there.
OK, stop. Time's up. Thank you, everybody.
You know what, I'm just happy it's on the plate, to be fair.
Really stressful.
Max, come on, up you come.
First up is singer Max. He's serving his main ingredient of butternut squash as a spiced butternut squash and potato soup, topped with cream, served with fried croutons and sourdough bread.
That looks great.
Oh.
That looks great. You should be really proud of
Oh,
yourself.
thank you.
A bowl of soup, I think, is something which is really underrated because people sometimes think it's wishy-washy. This soup of yours is lovely and thick because you use potatoes to thicken it. In the background, lots and lots of pepper, give you a bit of spice in the back of your throat. These little croutons are nice and crispy, they're good. It's really comforting.
Thanks a lot.
You've got spiciness in there, you've got pepperiness in there, but you can clearly taste the sweetness of the butternut squash. The swirl of cream on the top as well is a bit of a artistic bent.
I've just seen that on the telly.
I'd have that for me lunch.
Get in. Thanks a lot. You can if you want. What's in with that?
wallop it with that.
Do you know what? I was so, like, absolutely buzzing. Greg even said he'd have it for his lunch, so that'll do me. Like, honestly, well surprised, but so happy.
Broadcaster Terry has cooked his ingredients of mussels in a garlic, chilli and white wine broth, served with asparagus, fried sweet potatoes and a mushroom and dill sauce.
I'm loving those mussels. They're all cooked. You haven't overcooked them. They're not going to rubber. You've obviously done it before. The asparagus is cooked. Your sweet potatoes are cooked. The sauce is creamy. I'm not really getting the mushrooms, not getting a great deal of dill. But I'm going to put my focus on the centrepiece of this dish, which is a really, really good bowl of mussels. Lovely broth flavoured with white wine and chilli that I'm very much enjoying. Well done.
Your asparagus, sweet potato and mushrooms, I feel like belong with a piece of steak or a chicken breast. The difficulty with cooking mussels, you always want to try and embellish them, and you don't need to. Concentrate on the heart and soul. But, Terry, sound cooking.
Well, I think I've shown John and Greg that I'll take a risk. I hope that they see that there's a bit of courage, a bit of bravery there, and I'll steam in and have a go.
Wow.
Radio DJ Remy's ingredient was mackerel. She's pan-fried it in butter and served it with fried onions, scotch bonnet, cherry tomatoes, mushrooms and chips.
What's happened here is that you didn't have a plan, right? We're going to use couscous, then you were going to use chickpeas. They got ditched. But I have to applaud you for the way in which you just indulged in that fish. You filleted the whole thing without a knife.
Yeah.
Never seen that before in my life.
Big up all the people that fillet their fish with their bare hands. You are appreciated.
The mackerel, the fish is cooked really, really well. What you've got here is a garnish of lots of onions, tomatoes, and a good whack of Scotch bonnet, which is lovely and hot. I think that's actually quite delicious. And if that had been turned into a paste, it would be a lovely little sauce to go with your fish. Your chips are terrible.
That is what I didn't expect.
The chip is crispy on the outside and soft and fluffy on the inside. They are soggy and greasy and really not nice at all.
Yikes.
It's obvious that you're a novice, but I tell you what, you're brave and you've got a great attitude because those fillets are off, and they're off whole, and they're cooked well.
Right. Give me another animal. Let's go, let's go. I'm happy with the overall. My only issue is I never expected the chips to be the problem. Like, if you told me I'd messed up the mackerel, then I would have been like, fair enough, that's the main event. But not the side thing. How am I messing up the side thing?
Comedian Shazia has turned her ingredient of duck into a duck curry, flavoured with peppers, turmeric, chilli and hoisin sauce, served with buttered chapati breads.
It's impressed me that you know how to make the breads without a recipe, and it's impressed me the way you approach the duck. I think you've cooked the duck OK. I think you've cooked the peppers down really, really nicely. This is a nice stew you're making here. This is a nice stew stroke curry. The hoisin sauce, I think, is a mistake. It's very strong, it's sweet, it's smoky, and that now is going all the way through the dish.
You've got lots of turmeric, which is quite smoky, a little bit of spice in the background. The hoisin sauce is starting to drown everything. But there's something in here that tells me you're a decent cook. And these breads are really tasty. You obviously cook quite a bit. Shazia, thank you very much.
Thank you. I think I've got a lot to prove. I've got to prove that I know what hoisin duck sauce is and where not to use that. Don't just stick it on everything. It's not tomato ketchup. That's what I learnt from that round.
Finally, it's TV presenter Dave. He was given chocolate and has made a lemon cheesecake with a biscuit base, a layer of whipped condensed milk and cream, topped with chocolate shavings.
You haven't used any cream cheese in there, have you?
No.
You've used cream and condensed milk, so it's quite sweet. You've got a really nice buttery base. You've got a lovely, fresh lemon zest running through the white bit of your cheesecake, but it's very difficult to taste any chocolate.
Oh.
It's very zingy, very sharp.
Thank you.
It's not at all unpleasant.
No, but it's just not quite.
It's
what
not
you
quite
needed.
chocolate.
No, it's not quite chocolate. OK. That's not a bad name for it, not quite chocolate cheesecake.
But it doesn't have any cheese in it, so therefore it's not a cheesecake.
Oh.
So it's a not quite chocolate, not quite cheesecake.
I like that.
What you can't hear, though, is the sweetness of the condensed milk and the filling, the saltiness of the buttery biscuit, and then on top of that, that real bitterness of the chocolate. We've got something here which tastes OK.
All right. Entertaining children is a lot less stressful than cooking in the Masterchef kitchen. It really is. There's no real comparison there. Save it, guys, save it, save it. In their right mind would put themselves through it. Oh, yeah, that's right, we did.
What an amazing start. Some extraordinary things going on in the Masterchef kitchen, things we have never seen before.
And we'll never see again.
Thank you, well done. Go and take a break.
I don't know about you, but I was terrified throughout. There's no two ways.
We've got ourselves 5 very, very energetic, quite adventurous cooks. I think we got some good food.
Max was my dish of the round. There's a lesson there. When you're not sure, go to basics. Go to something you know.
The most confident cook in the room has to be Terry.
He made us beautifully cooked mussels and served them in a really flavoursome broth. John, he looks like a competent cook to me.
The mackerel from Remy was cooked really, really nicely. But the thing is with Remy, she didn't have a plan. It could have been a far better dish. It's interesting with Shazia that you and I both can see the potential there. Maybe just the ingredients sent her off the pace. Duck was cooked pretty well. The bread was great.
Dave, I think, had the most difficult ingredient on the bench, and that's the chocolate.
It wasn't really the star of the show, but it looked like a decent dessert.
Now I've seen them cook, now I've tasted their food, I'm really looking forward to the next round.
We've seen things in this kitchen that we have never seen before.
Hello again.
We are now giving you the opportunity to shine, the opportunity to demonstrate and feature your cookery passion and skill.
You've been sent a brief, and that brief is to cook for us your dinner party. A dinner party incorporating 2 courses, a main course and a dessert. 2 portions, 1 hour, 15 minutes. I've got to warn you, you've got to do something absolutely brilliant because at the end of this, one of you is going home. Let's go.
Dive straight in. Don't fanny about, as they say.
If the first round was about invention, this second round has got to be about practiced and polished.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're going to make it posh for a dinner party. They need to take that heart, that soul, and make it special. Make it look great. Oh, how many Scotch bonnets have we got in this one?
Just one, just one.
Come on, make it spicy.
OK, I'll put 1.5 then.
Tell me, what's a dinner party like around your house? Do you have dinner parties often?
My mum does, yes. So I don't have them personally, no, because I wouldn't, I wouldn't cook. So
You wouldn't cook?
I wouldn't be confident enough to throw a dinner party knowing that I'm the lead chef.
If you go further in MasterChef, do you think that maybe you will have the confidence then to throw your own dinner party?
That might be the celebration. I might have my own dinner party. How about that? In fact, I will.
Remy is cooking the flavours that she loves from her heritage. She's making us jollof rice, which is rice with lots and lots of spice and tomatoes.
Jollof is in my blood, it's in my veins. Jollof rice goes down with my friends. Like, that's something that, you know what I mean? I'm like, boom, like.
Being served with that, we've got spiced salmon. Pieces of salmon which have got paprika on the outside and ginger.
I've learnt this from my mum. I think that's the only dish that I can take from my mum and be like, yeah, she taught me. I took that, I can carry that on my back.
But she's got to make sure that salmon's not too cooked, otherwise it goes really dry.
Remy's doing us puff puff for dessert. I've never had a puff puff, but they sound like slightly dense dough balls flavoured with sugar and cinnamon.
I'll be honest, I'm new to the game with puff puff. You know, I've tried a couple recipes, and I'll be honest with you, closer to the day, it weren't looking too good. But I feel like I found my swag.
How important is it for you to represent your culture?
It's very important. You know, my parents immigrated from Nigeria, and I like to hope that I'm doing them proud in every aspect of life. So this is just another opportunity to showcase where I come from in the hope of spreading good food. Good food deserves to be shared. I want to leave a lasting, long memory in Greg and John's mind. I think I've already done that because of the way I gutted the fish, right? But I'm ready for more. I'm ready for more memories.
Terry, you're fairly confident in the kitchen. Are you a dinner party man? Do you throw dinner parties?
Dinner parties isn't really part of the culture. You know, I have cooked for mates, but the dinner party thing, you'd rather go out to the pub. The only thing is, when my lads come round, I mean, I'm like serving them and bringing the rest of it. By the time I've gone in, they eat like, it's gone in 5 minutes.
Terry is making up for us crowd pleasers. We got chicken curry made from drumsticks served with rice. So those chicken legs need to be cooked all the way through. I like that sauce to be really fragrant with spices and a good whack of chilli. Are you enjoying MasterChef? Is it what you expected?
Oh, yeah, because, well, I like cooking. You know, I actually, you know, I know some people who are good at cooking and they actually hate the process of it. Whereas me, I put the tunes on, you know what I mean, and just get on with it, get in the zone a bit, you know, so it's an enjoyable thing for me.
Terry is being really ambitious with dessert. He's going to give us a mango and passion fruit ice cream. So he's already got ready-made ice cream. He's going to whip cream through that and some fruit. I'm fine with that. And he's promising us choux buns, little profiterole balls. John, that's not an easy pastry to make.
They could go haywire, right? It could be a wrong thing. But if they do, then I'll just pretend I didn't do them anyway. So Greg won't even see them. He'll just get the mango ice cream. Then he'll say, but it needs something else. I go, well, suck it up.
"30 minutes gone."
Them steaks are massive, the size of them.
Max is giving us ribeye steak. Ribeye steak is beautiful because of all the fat running through it. That means it needs quite a bit of cooking.
That's going to need definitely plenty of care and maybe a good whack with that. I haven't ever had, like, a dinner party at my house or anything. But if I was to have people around to eat, I probably would make a mistake. If I'm hungry, I always want a steak.
With the ribeye, we've got a peppercorn sauce. That's fine. That's a good idea. And we've got potato wedges that he's already got in the oven. Fine.
And then for dessert, I'm going to make a jam sponge. My nan used to make me a syrup sponge all the time. So I wanted to make a sponge, but it wouldn't have been as good as hers, so I didn't want to make a syrup one. So I'm going to do jam. I'm going to make my own jam. And, yeah, I'm going to serve that with that warm, sweet cream stuff.
Custard?
Yeah.
So you're cooking a steak and then you've got wedges in the oven, and then you're making a sponge, you're making jam, you're making custard. So all the skill is going in the dessert. So is it dessert's your thing? Do you like dessert?
Yeah, I've got a proper sweet tooth.
If Max gets this right, it's going to be absolutely brilliant. But the important thing is, though, that sponge has to be a sponge. That means that it's got lots of air holes in it, and when you push it down, it's all lovely and spongy.
I've made the strawberry pudding twice. The first one, the jam was banging, but the sponge was burnt. And the second one, the jam was burnt, but the sponge was well nice. So I'm hoping today that I meet in the middle.
Shazia,
Yes?
what are you making that's going to delight us?
I've made an authentic chicken balti, Birmingham style.
Can I ask, as an Australian, right, what is a balti?
Right, balti means bucket. You cook it in a bucket and you serve it in a bucket. When the immigrants came over from Pakistan to Birmingham in the 60s, the dish that they brought over was the balti. And that's why in Birmingham there's this belt of restaurants called the Balti Belt. And I've made coriander and turmeric chapatis.
And what about dessert?
I've made kheer, which is rice pudding with cardamoms and almonds and a bit of cinnamon.
I'm really looking forward to Shazia's rice pudding, that kheer. Like a firm ball of rice inside a really sweetened, milky, almost sauce. It is delicious.
My parents are from Pakistan, so this kheer is really a northern Kashmiri Pakistani dish. You could say it's just rice pudding, but, you know, it's a bit different.
I hope those breads are nice and soft. I hope that curry's got bags of flavour. It's got to pack a punch.
I'm trying to show John and Greg that I can cook an authentic dish in an authentic way, which is to do with my background and my upbringing and where I come from. If it goes wrong or if they don't like it, that's going to be a massive blow.
We have 25 minutes left.
Now, I have a weird association with dinner parties. I tried my best to do dinner parties, fail at dinner parties, don't do it anymore. Oh, that's not bad. Never do that.
What are you making for us, Dave?
OK, well, I'm making salmon with mash and crispy kale.
Any sauce going with it?
Oh, my goodness, do you know what? I haven't even thought of that. Because normally when we have it at home, we tend to kind of have it dry, so that's what we have.
Let's hope the mashed potato is lump-free. Let's hope the kale is cooked all the way through.
Where's the potato masher?
But there's no sauce. It could be a little dry.
Oh, that's perfect.
What's a dinner party like with you and Mrs. Phillips?
Well, believe it or not, we tend not to have dinner parties.
So if we come to your house on Valentine's Day, what would you be cooking, Mrs. Phillips?
Oh, I wouldn't be cooking anything on Valentine's Day.
Dessert, we've got a sponge, a microwave-styled sponge. He's got marmalade with it. It's made from orange peel, which is bitter, and lots of sugar. So we're going to get a bittersweet marmalade finish across the top of that pudding. I just hope that sponge hasn't dried out in the microwave.
That is not elegant.
10 minutes left. Jollof, curry, steak. 10 minutes.
Pressure is getting worse.
It just has to look nice.
90 seconds and we're out of time. 90 seconds. Why, we got shoe buns!
Yeah, but no time to put anything in them.
Have I got parsley?
I'm really happy with that.
Right, time's up. Stop. You all right?
Yeah.
You don't need a hug, do you? You're OK.
I definitely need an hug.
All right, just arm around the shoulder. All right, well done, sir.
What? An hour and 15 minutes.
Shazia.
First up is comedian Shazia. Her dinner party dish is an ode to Birmingham, a traditional chicken balti served with turmeric and coriander chapatis.
The chicken's nice and moist and sweet, the sauce is lovely and it sort of sticks to your lips. And then the next mouthful, you get a surprise. There's a bit of cardamom in there, or maybe a bit of ginger or garlic. And every time I take a mouthful, there's something new and interesting and different in there. And for me, that's the beauty of a good curry. It's really good. And Greg's eating it still, so that means it's a pretty good thing.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's the bitterness, the saltiness, the layering of flavours, the sweetness of the vegetables, and the juiciness still of the chicken. I'm really happy about. These breads, I thought your last breads were good. These are better. These are softer, thinner, strong coriander in there as well. A little bit of dustiness of turmeric. I like this food. It's good, it's proper, and I could see that you knew what you were doing, and I could see you were enjoying it. And I think that makes a difference.
Yeah. Thank you.
For dessert, Shazia has made a sweet rice kheer. Rice soaked in milk, custard and raisins, topped with cardamom, saffron, almonds and rose petals.
The rice is nicely cooked. You do get the flavour of saffron. It's impossible to ignore it. It's across the top. Cardamom, quite mild. It's nice. I like it. I would eat it, but I would like it sweeter.
My learned friend loves something sweet and sticky. However, you have got rice, which is quite creamy, amongst lots and lots of milk. Little bits of flaked almonds, which are toasty and lovely all the way through. The sweetness comes from those little raisins, and every so often you get this real burst of honey-rich sweetness from that dried fruit. I really like it.
I feel relieved. I'm getting into the swing of the competition. I'm beginning to realise that, you know, you can't just kind of blag your way through this. You've really got to work.
Broadcaster Terry has cooked a chicken leg curry flavoured with turmeric, chilli, coconut milk and mango chutney, served with basmati rice.
The chicken is falling off the bone, that's lovely. The sauce on the outside of that chicken is rich with that curry powder and sweet with coconut milk. I think that's really, really good. And then in the background, there's a sweetness that's coming from that mango chutney. I think it's really nicely made. I think it tastes really good.
The rice is nicely cooked with actually bits of onion running through it that I like. Your curry sauce is lovely, like the curry sauce you get in a chip shop. It's got a little bit of chilli in it, it's properly salty, and it's got quite a bit of sweetness in it as well. I really like it. It's got bags and bags of flavour, and it's thick and sticky enough to coat everything, and it's in no way greasy or oily. That's a nice sauce. I'm into that. Terry's second course is a mango and vanilla soft serve ice cream,
topped with passion fruit, served with choux pastry buns.
Maybe just a bit of finesse, Terry. Giving yourself the time to be able to put it on the plate. Tastes great. Passion fruit really sharp, a mango very, very sweet, almost honey sweetness, and then rich vanilla ice cream underneath. Wonderful. I'm really impressed you made choux pastry. They're not cooked enough because you ran out of time, but I like your ambition. You do crowd-pleasing food, Terry.
It's really refreshing. It's not too sweet. It's delicious. It's somewhere between a fruit fall and an Indian chilled lassi. And I'm finding it delightful.
Brilliant. What I was particularly pleased with was when John said, you know, it's crowd-pleasing food that you've been making. And obviously, you know, that's what you want. You want everyone to say, oh, yeah, that was nice.
Entertainer Dave has made pan-fried salmon fillets, served with mashed potato and crispy chili kale.
Your salmon is overcooked. It's quite dry. It falls apart. Instead of being lovely and pink and rosy, it's gone almost white pink instead. Your mashed potato is OK. It's seasoned quite well. That's great. I don't have any lumps in mine. The kale itself, I really like the addition of the chilli. I think that's great. But kale, when you cook it crispy, does still stay bright green. It doesn't go this really, really dark colour. You've just taken it a bit too far.
I would prefer my salmon pinker than this, but I really like the flavour of the dill, mild aniseed flavour, and I really like your seasoning. But I feel the dish needs a sauce. We've got slightly dry salmon, we've got slightly dry mashed potato. We need something wet going on in there.
OK.
Dave's dinner party dessert is a microwaved marmalade sponge pudding, served with double cream.
I really like the bitter flavour of the marmalade going across the top. It's all sticky and sweet, and you've cooked that down, become more bitter. The cream around the outside is giving a bit of relief. The actual sponge itself is really dense and therefore quite dry. And it's gone dense because you mixed marmalade through it, and it hasn't had a chance to rise.
It's almost the texture of a bread pudding.
Oh.
If you say sponge, of course, I expect a lighter, fluffier sponge that's more risen. But there's a theme running across both dishes, and that is, again, this is now very dry. You're going to have to put some more cream on here, because look, I've almost, the cream's almost gone.
Oh, good grief. If ever I throw a dinner party, I'll have to get caterers in. I've decided. They can do it, or it'll be fine. I'll just sit there and just... Did you cook it? Oh, yeah. Watch the nose.
The Wanted star Max has cooked a ribeye steak with parmesan wedges, grilled asparagus and a peppercorn sauce.
I have to, right now, declare myself very happy with your steak and chips.
Thank you.
The fat has cooked throughout the meat, which makes it such an unctuous, delicious piece of meat. Your timing on this big steak is perfect. Perfect.
Brilliant.
You've even got the nice grill marks across the meat. Well done. You call them wedges, I call them big fat steak chips. Crisp on the outside, soft in the middle. You've put a sprinkling of parmesan to give it a zingy saltiness. I'm happy.
Brilliant, thank you. Buzzing that.
I concur.
Oh, brilliant.
I think you've done a great job here. Steak and chips, really easy to get it wrong. Your steak's cooked perfectly. I really love that rich sauce. Creamy, rich caramel. Peppercorns, the green one's sharp and salty. The black one's really quite hot and ferocious when you bite into them. I think it's a really good dish.
Max's dinner party dessert is a strawberry jam sponge with a no-egg custard.
Your sponge is great. It's really light. It's got a really nice crust on the outside. It's been baked really well. Your jam is a revelation. Your jam is great. It's like good old-fashioned flavoured strawberry jam, and it's delicious. It reminds me of being a young kid with banana. I think that's fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Really appreciate it.
You haven't quite got a custard, but you've got vanilla in there, you've got sugar in there. It's not too sweet. It does taste like a thin custard, a creme anglaise. It's nostalgia. It's school dinners. It's sponge, jam and custard. It's a pure indulgence. I think it's great.
Oh, thanks so much. Buzzing that you like it. I'm feeling class. Like, I did not expect that at all. Like, genuinely did not expect that. So, feel really, really happy. I'm still, like, really close to my nan, so it was nice that I was able to do that and think about it. Like, it was cool.
Last up is radio DJ Remy. Her dinner party starts with Nigerian jollof rice, flavoured with tomato, scotch bonnet, garlic and thyme, served with spiced ginger salmon.
Did you say your mum taught you how to cook the jollof?
Yes.
Can you say to your mum from me, thank you very much indeed, because it's delicious?
Yes, Mum, do you hear that? Yeah.
It's so unsuspecting, this sort of golden dome of rice, and in there's a really lovely, mild spice that's coming from Scotch bonnet, sweetness of tomatoes, little bits of onion, some garlic, thyme running through the whole thing. It just tastes like sort of magical, spiced, delicious thing on a plate. It's really, really good. But the salmon is going dry because there isn't a sauce with it. However, I'd be happy to eat that bowl of jollof very happily by itself.
I'm like John. I'm really, really enjoying this rice. But when salmon stops being pink and starts being white, you know that's overcooked.
For dessert, Remy is serving up puff puff, a Nigerian fritter which she's flavoured with nutmeg, served with peanuts and a milk chocolate sauce.
It's still sort of light and airy on the inside, but still quite spongy. The flavour inside is of nutmeg, which is really rich and sort of almost woody. You can taste the yoghurt, it's slightly sharp and sour, which is great. The milk chocolate sauce is really sweet that goes with it, and the peanuts are salty. I think it's great. I think they're really clever. I've never seen a puff puff before, but I like them. I like them a lot.
Oh, I like them. I do like them. They got that sponginess and the crispiness. You got a sweet, mildly spiced donut with a chocolate sauce. There's nothing to dislike.
It's the pressure's real. The competition is with a capital C. In fact, the whole word competition is in capitals. Like, this is really a competition.
I'm really, really impressed with all five of them. There's been a bit of ambition. There's been the odd mishap.
What you've got here are the really good building blocks of very, very good cooks.
I need to put a flag in the sand for Max. Max has come in here with real classic dishes.
He gave us steakhouse steak and chips with a peppercorn sauce, and then he gave us 1970s school dinner, jam, sponge and custard. And I loved it.
Max is a great contender. I think you should stay with us.
Max is my cook of the day. I like Terry. I think his dishes are slightly unusual, but it's obvious to me that he's got technique and knowledge. His curry sauce with that chicken and rice was absolutely delicious. I mean, I basically cleared it off my plate. That was fantastic.
Dessert, the ice cream with the mango, the passion fruit, really, really good. And those choux buns not quite cooked all the way through. But at least he's giving it a go. I like the ambition. We should give him a place in the next round. Shazia, I really like that Balti, bit of cardamom here, some coriander, sweet tomato, all just building up. With the chicken, which was cooked beautifully.
You like both her dishes. I wasn't sure about the dessert. That Kia, I thought could have been sweeter, but I really did like her Balti and I loved her bread. Let's put her through. This is a decision between Dave and Remy.
Remy wanted to show us the food of Nigeria. The jollof, Greg, was a revelation. The flavour inside of that rice was fantastic.
But to serve it with an overcooked bit of salmon, and it needed a sauce, I did like her puff puffs. She flavoured them with nutmeg and she'd given us a milk chocolate sauce to spread on them. Very, very nice indeed.
Dave is trying really hard and he's really enthusiastic. He's full of energy. Salmon was slightly overcooked, the kale just a little bit over, the mashed potato really, really good.
But it needed a white sauce to pour across there. I liked Dave's marmalade sponge. Probably too dense for a sponge. It was more of a bread pudding texture. It needed more cream.
Look, Dave and Remy, they both care about what they're doing. Who's going through and who's going home?
I'd like to think I did well enough, but, you know, it's tougher than it looks, you know. And it's also proof that Mrs. Phillips and my son Benji must love me because they eat my food.
I know that if I make it to the next round, I have to step it up, but I'm willing to. So yeah, I just hope that this is not the end of the road.
Well done, all of you. Each of you cooked dishes that were actually quite special to you. It was great to see it from all of you.
At the start of this, we did say that we couldn't take all of you with us and that one of you would be leaving the competition. The celebrity leaving us is Dave. Dave, we've really enjoyed having you, and we hope you enjoyed it as well.
I have indeed. Thank you. Bring it. Bring it. Bring it. Bring it. Bring it. Bring it.
It was a laugh.
It was huge fun. I shall be watching with the rest of the nation with a takeout. All right. A little bit sad, but in light of what I cooked, yeah, I can understand why I'm going home. No doubt Mrs. Phillips will see this and think, right, well, you need to do some more cooking in the house.
That does mean that you're through the next round and you four can celebrate. Congratulations, yay!
Well done.
My heart was really doing basketball. Basketball was, you know, giving them, you know what I mean? But I'm excited about the next round. I couldn't tell you what I'm gonna deliver, but I'm ready.
Obviously, it's a competition. So it's always sad to see somebody go and you always think, oh my God, I hope I stay in. You know, obviously I'm happy I'm still in it.
You've got to kind of up your game and you've got to get it right. You know, if you make one mistake, that's it. It's a blood sport.
Do you know what? I never thought cooking food would give you adrenaline. It was weird. I've never felt anything like that before. But yeah, it was pretty exciting. Yeah, I can't wait for the next bit.
Next time, the remaining 4 celebrities are back.
As long as Terry listens to what I'm saying, it will all go well.
Nightmare.
And the heat is on.
Oh, the pressure, the pressure, the pressure!
I feel like Mrs. Doubtfire.
As they cook for a place in the quarter-final.
You have done a great job here.
I'm very impressed.
See Mrs. Doubtfire tomorrow then at 8. Follow the money and sell the owner their dream home easy, right? Crazy rich agents have to buy into that lavish lifestyle. Press red to view on iPlayer. Wake up with the Women's World